Listen to me and shut up. The path of truth. I'm Tex 5581. You don't need to know my English, American-born last name. That's irrelevant. I was given 5581 by the aliens in my brains. Y'all know my story. Y'all know I know the path to truth because of the voices I hear and everyone that's in my brains. I got everyone in my brains. All aboard? Oh, what's that? Who do I hear? Swami Vivekananda. Vivekanandis, you know him? Yeah. I'm talking about old traditional West Bengal philosophies. Did you know that? Vedanta? Do you know about that? You brought it to the Western world? Hinduism. My friends, that's in my head. Jesus and Moses, Dalai Lama, they're all saying things to me. Past, present, your gods. I know your faith, because I know your gods. I still have St. Augustine talking to me. One time when I was young, I was really little, and I was at the playground. And my parents were too busy watching my cousins play. They didn't even notice me in the corner by myself in that sandbox just having some good old conversations. Good old conversations, Mahatma Gandhi and all those people. Kabir, St. Augustine, Mahavira, you know these people. Oh, hello, St. Paul, I said, and I'm sitting there by myself just talking away. But they, I can only really understand them. They're in my brain. They can speak any language and I understand what they're saying. So I know your religion. I know your faith because I've spoken with your leaders. With the leaders of what you have faith in. All of them. And I don't care if they're alive or not. My brains are a beacon. That's why you have to visit truthgods.blogspot.com. Truthgods.blogspot.com is the place to go because I'm sharing everything right there. I have a little blog going. I'm writing down my experiences. My mom and pop finally got to looking because they see me and they go, our boy's just sitting by himself in that sandbox playing like I don't know what, just like he was last night with his potato salad at the dinner table, told me to put that down. I want you to call 562-396-5594. That's 562-396-5594. That's the number to call if you want to call and let me know your truth. You want to know where your tub is, don't you? You know that, folks. When that button is hit and it's time for reset times, you better go find that tub in the Middle East. You better find that rub-it-up tub. You're going to have to find it. That's the only place to find peace and salvation. Everyone knows that. Wow. Listen, why do you think so many people make the trip out there? Why do you think so many people are interested? Because that's where you have to go. That's your salvation. I know where my tub is. I keep telling you people that. My mom and dad came over to me. Finally, they got up after watching other people's children's. And they said, Tex, come on. What are you doing by yourself, boy? And they didn't want to believe me. And I told them I was talking to all the faiths. I was talking to Isaiah and Isaiah too. I was talking to people from the Kingdom of Judah. I was talking to people from the Vatican in my brains. They didn't want to hear it. Paramahansa. Abraham. Boy, were they impressed, but terrified. What do you do when your son tells you that you got voices in your brains and your head and everything? You say, shut up. Listen to me and just shut up. This is the path of truth. Text 5581. I understand everyone no one really knows why I got. I see these aliens. I see them. I hear them. They talk to me because my brains are some sort of beacon. And what they're able to do is mind expand. I can see them where they are. Truthgods.blogspot.com. That's truthgods.blogspot.com, please. And you have to, if you want to, you can always email me, folks. Why don't you write this down? huntwork@gmail.com. That's huntwork@gmail.com. Try me out. Go ahead. Tell me your thoughts. You can also do the same thing by calling 562-396-5594. That's 562-396-5594. No, you know that text 5581 have always brought the realness. I always bring the truth to you. That's what I keep telling my followers. And they're here with me. I told little Bobby Joe, I told him. Billy Joe Robidoux. Brother, that's why he came and followed me, see? I got out of jail. I went right back on my little tour there, yeah? I sure did. Because I have too much to tell people. And a shrinking wool hat on my head just shrinking and cutting off circulation to my brains. They ain't gonna stop me. You can lock me up too. I knew it. I knew it. I told them, as soon as you let me go out, I'm just gonna become more powerful. I'm just gonna have more messages to spread from your faiths. From your faiths. I'm talking about Jeremiah. You know that prophet. Everyone does. He's in my brains. You like Guru Singh? I bet you do. You know the 6. You know them. You know the 2 T's. John the Baptist. You remember John the Baptist. Come on now. He and Jesus and everything like this. He was the one that announced Jesus' arrival. Don't you know about that? I do. They're in my brains. Let me tell you something, folks. This is the realness. And I go every weekend, and sometimes on a Tuesday, I will go to the Home Depot. I will go to the Walmart. I will go over to the Fuddruckers, and I'll just hang out. I have pamphlets. As soon as I make them, they're gone. They're gone, but you can email me. You can email me, and I will send you some information. You just keep tuning in. That's why you have to subscribe. So you can keep getting these, you can keep hearing the information that I'm giving to you from my brains. Why didn't Mommy and Daddy believe me? Because they were scared. Because they didn't want to believe. And you know what? That's a lot of people. That's why I was locked up. Because people get so scared. They don't know what to make of that. Imagine me just hearing your faith. To hear your leaders, to hear everyone in my brains, and you can't. That must really frustrate you. I know you're praying. I know some of you are worshiping. I know some of you do whatever you got to do. All the Muslim faith and the Jews, and I see the Christians doing it, and the Catholics. I see everyone's doing it now. Hindus and everyone else in their religion and their faith, and it's in my brain. That's what I keep telling them when I was over at that bowling alley parking lot. That's right, Shiny Lanes. I went over to Shiny Lanes with some of my followers. We were just handing stuff out, and they were really receptives. They understood where I was coming from, and they were interested. That's how it works. I share my experiences, my stories, and everyone gets to take a look inside my brain. Come with me. Come with me. I told my parents they didn't want to understand. They picked me up right out of that sandbox, and they just put me in the back of the car, and off we went. My pop was in a real huff. You think they wanted their friends and family to hear that I had voices in my brains and I was a beacon to different faiths? What are you supposed to tell someone that's a friend of you? Yeah, my son, he's talking to Mother Teresa in his brains. That's why they put me in a refrigerator box and left me outside of my school. You know that. And once I was old enough and I pushed that box over, I pushed with all my might and I got out. And all the Rice Krispies and everything else, they spilled out. I had my freedom. I went right back home and I said, you guys really done it. Now you have to, can I borrow I borrowed some money from them, and I took some food and I did my own thing. I went out and did my own thing. Stayed over at Pawpaw's house. I went over there because he believed, he knew. It only takes one person to support you. It only takes one ear. And it grew. You should see how many people now I'm living with here in this kingdom I myself have created for my brains. I have about 18, 19 people we have in here. And every night they all gather around. I just tell them the special things, all the beautiful things that are in my brains. And I have that big burden, don't I? Yeah, I was born with that. having all that information on my brain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They just pop in and start talking to me. I'm talking about Mahaprabhu. You like Yogananda now, right? Yogananda? You know him. He's from India. They're all talking to me. You don't even understand. Just last week, Thomas Aquinas, he's tiny. You know Tommy Aquinas? Tommy, he was that Italian man. Thomas Aquinas. He was talking to me too and telling me funny things. Oh, I hear people who are alive too. You'd be impressed. Yes, you would. I heard from Lindsey Graham most recently. Lindsey Graham, my mind, trying to talk to me, tell me things. I'm telling you, like a fly to the light. My brains shine bright, and they all fly towards me to tell me their stories and to tell me things, and I understand it, and that's all I have. That's all I have. And I got to asking, what about my tub? And they told me. Because one of them was in my head telling me something about how we going to have to find our tubs when that button is hit. And I said, I know what button you're talking about, brother. I don't remember who I was talking to, but they understood. I think it was Jerry Lee Lewis. They all talk to me. Brothers and sisters, they all talk to me. It's all up in my brains. You know, I have Carol, I have Bobby Joe, as I was talking about him before, and, you know, Ray. I got so many beautiful people here. Chandra, you know, Cheryl. Just me and going out and doing my thing, brother. That's what it's all about. And sisters, I'm just talking. I'm just trying to share what's in my brains. For so long I've been having all these conversations. Not me and them. Just they're talking to one another. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Different fates talking up in my brains. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. But I've learned to live with it. And my papa saw that potential. And while my parents were all upset every time that I would go off by myself and just try to listen to the voice and try to learn, try to understand, try to comprehend what was happening, they would get embarrassed. That's why you have to visit truthgods.blogspot.com. truthgods.blogspot.com and call 562-396-5594. 562-396-5594. huntwork@gmail.com. Now let me tell you something. So many ideas, they just run through my head. You know, I'll come up with drawings and ideas for drawings for my pamphlets and what we should really start to focus on. You know, I have a lot of help. JJ brings a lot to the table. So does Carolina. She's funny though. I'll tell you, sometimes it's a wonder how I even get things done or how I even do things around here. That's why the aliens contacted me not long while I was living over at Papa's, and they brought me aboard. That was it. I kept hearing them and I kept hearing them. It was like I had an antenna going up or something. But they kept at it, and I kept hearing them, and then whoosh. 5581, they told me. 5581. Shed yourselves. You're listening to me right now. You know it's the truth. Shed yourselves of that last name given unto you. That doesn't mean anything. That's not your real last name. I couldn't believe it once I found that out. That's not your real last name. Imagine that. I'm text 5581. 5581. Not 5582, not 5583, not 5617, not 8693. It doesn't matter, man. I'm 5581. You know that now. I already said that part. Oh, someone went and messed up on my notes, man. This isn't any of the things that I was writing down before earlier. Where's Jimmy, man? Where'd Jimmy go? Because this isn't... I already said that. See, these are the parts that I said right... Oh, it doesn't even matter. Let me tell you about my brains. You know, you think it's easy? I sometimes hear fictionalized characters. That's right, you wouldn't understand that, would you now? You wouldn't understand that, would you now? How's about Joseph Smith? Y'all always talking about the Latter-day Saints and Mormons and things. How about Joseph Smith talking to me the other day? But Pepe Le Pew, I'm telling you, it was weird, brothers and sisters, it was weird. And I mostly understood Joseph Smith. He was telling me all about these things. All these crazy things about different parts of our country and Missouri and this and not finding a thing. And then off on the side, I'm hearing Pepe Le Pew. And that's a recent phenomenon. I think that happened because of the wool cap just getting tight and tight and tighter around my brains until I started freaking out and they called the cops on me. You imagine that? I ain't been out of the pen that long, y'all, but I knew I was gonna get back right at it. And that's right, I got 2 new followers in person when I went over last time and I gave my speech and my presentation. And everyone was very, very into it. No one threw food at me this time. No one's throwing food at me these days. I wonder why, because maybe they're waking up to the truth. Maybe they're realizing that text 5581 is saying the truth, which I always have, which I always did, which frightened my parents. Good gravy, it's a good thing I was born an only child. Oh, Nelly, you imagine if I need something like that go through? Well, you know, it's like they say, I may be an only child, but I have lots of brothers and sisters, and you know what I'm talking about. Ain't that right? Now, why don't one of you try to figure out what happened to the rest of this? I'm telling you, man, I spend so much time writing all this stuff here. truthgod.blogspot.com. Why don't you go there, folks? Listen to me and just shut up. This is the path of truth. I'm text 5581. I'll catch you next time. I'm just, man, my brain just keep hearing a whole bunch of things. And boy, oh boy, I'm just so excited to share all this news with you folks. So next time you gotta subscribe. Next time you're gonna hear more. Now, what's the deal, brother? Because listen, I came over here. That was all. Come on, guys. I told you to bring it over. Yeah, well, you know, you can't tell me that the first time around when